Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So today we're talking about the 2003 show, and I will be reviewing each season. I never really watched the 2003 show just because, to be honest, I never really had a reason to watch it or a way to watch it because it wasn't really available on streaming services until Paramount Plus, and then I just decided, I've been in a really big turtle mood because with that new movie on the horizon, just been wanting to watch Ninja Turtles nonstop, and so as soon as I'm done watching this show, probably gonna watch all of Rise of the TMNT for the first time. I've watched a few episodes of that show, but I'm actually gonna sit down beginning to end and watch that whole show. Probably do a video on that too, but yeah, I just never had seen the show before. I had seen, I have it right here? Yeah, right here. Turtles Forever, which is the 80s crossover movie. But this show, yeah, I like this show quite a bit. This show is this show is kind of interesting because I'm only going to go in the first season in this video, like I mentioned, but this show is a lot more grounded than other turtle shows. It tries to be more in line with the comics. This show definitely has goofier episodes. There's literally an episode in the season where Michelangelo teams up with a superhero to take down some thugs or whatever, right? There's still goofy episodes in here, but it's not as goofy as the 80s show, which when this show came out, that was really all there was to compare it to. We had 4 Ninja Turtle things that were in the mainstream. The 80s cartoon, the movies from the 90s, and then we had that live action show, which most people didn't remember, but yeah. So there was only one Turtles animated series, and it was the 80s one before this. And so when this show came out, it was kind of a breath of fresh air. It was very fun. I like the art style quite a bit. I think I don't enjoy the show as much as some others do, and I think what it is I've seen the 2012 show before I saw this one. And the 2012 show is just so much better than this show in a lot of ways. First of all, it starts off with the way better origin of the Turtles. Really does a great job introducing you back into the Turtles. And that's the thing. When the 2012 series came out, Turtles were back. It was one of the top selling brands once again. Not in the same way it was in the 80s, but still, this show didn't really move the needle on that front. It still sold toys and still there were kids watching the show, but not in the same way that they were with the 2012 show. And that's just because the show feels like I don't know what it feels like it's lacking something. Where in the 2012 show, all the Turtles have very distinct personalities. This show doesn't really feel like that. It has some great stories and great drama that feel very much like the comics, and I really enjoy that aspect, and I enjoy seeing this version of Baxter, Stockman, April, Casey, and they're all good, but I feel like the Turtles themselves are what's lacking here, because even episodes focused on the Turtles, I'm sitting here like, you're not as well defined as Mikey, Raph, or Leo, or Donnie are as in this show, and so I think if I had seen this show before watching the 2012 show, I might have actually appreciated it a lot more. I didn't hate it. I actually think it's a good show. It's just not as strong as the 2012 show, and that's really where I'm at with it. It's like, yeah. But at the same time, the 2003 show is better than the 80s show. So, and, each Turtle show is kind of... But I also still love the 80s show, and there are things I love about the 80s show that I could say doesn't carry over to any Turtle show. See, that's the thing. Every Turtle show has its own unique vibe or something to it. Whether that be Rise, which is a completely cool, different reinvention of the franchise overall. That's great. So you got things like that are definitely like that for me. I think it's just really cool if you like Ninja Turtles and you've never seen the 2003 series. It's actually a good series. It's 100% worth watching. Just beware that it probably isn't as good as the 2012 show, if that's what you're familiar with. But it's still a good show.